Good morning guys, and welcome to the Magical Hopathon reading week. So it is day one of the Magical Hopathon today, and we are jumping straight in with Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry. This is my prompt for 1920s, a book with a strong family element or a found family element, which this is advertised as having. It is absolutely perfect weather for a book like this today. It is so cold and wintry. It does kind of feel like we've skipped autumn and gone straight to winter, but I'm not hugely mad about it. I feel like the wintry vibes are better for my autumn mood than the summery vibes were, so I'm deciding to be okay with it. But I'm going to take you with me this entire week for the Magical Hopathon. This is also a very exciting week because I am starting a job this week. I'm starting on Wednesday. I've been kind of keeping it quiet. I don't want to talk about it too much, but that is why this week is going to be so busy and so exciting, and it really means that we have to, like, today and tomorrow have to get some solid reading out of the park. Like, I want to read a book a day today and tomorrow, so that like Wednesday, Thursday, when I'm working full-time hours, there's a little bit less pressure to get some of these books read. So that is how this vlog is gonna go. If you haven't seen my TBR yet, then I will link it for you. I do have a full video going through the prompts and the bingo board squares that I'm trying to hit and what books for each of them. Obviously, if I make any changes, then I will let you know in this vlog, but that was a good video to watch if you want to see kind of the direction this is going to go, what we're aiming for. We are aiming for 4 books this week, and today itself, I don't have too much to do today other than going to therapy later, so hopefully I can get this read. It's not a huge book. I think people have said it's not a particularly fast paced read or a fast read, but it's so cozy and good that you don't want to put it down, so I'm hoping I will be able to translate that into a fast read just out of sheer necessity. But tomorrow is a nothing day. I've got some shopping that I want to do before I start work, but other than that, it's just a reading day, so hopefully we can read 2 books today and tomorrow. So if you guys like the sound of this video, you like seeing reading vlogs, you like readathons, then do please feel free to hit that big red subscribe button down below to stay tuned for future content. I upload every single Wednesday and every single Sunday, so there is no shortage of bookish content here. Also, do please feel free to check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Page in Chapter, because all of my updates for the Magical Hopathon will be going there first, so might make sense to just follow me on there if you want live updates. I don't want to sit here chatting for too long. I woke up kind of late today and I just want to get going with reading this book, so let's get on into the vlog. I am 130 pages into this book. It is so cozy and wholesome, and I'm literally gonna have to stop off and get a hazelnut latte on the way out because I'm just in the mood for a really cozy, like, kind of coffee today, and that's just gonna hit the spot. I think I can get this finished today. I'm about halfway through, so fingers crossed I can get this finished today. I don't see any reason why I wouldn't be able to. The day is still early. It is only 2 o'clock. So I have the train journey into London, the train journey out of London, and then the whole evening too. So we're off to a really good start with the Magical Hopathon because I'm loving the book. It is the perfect vibes and the weather's really, like, it's doing its job today. So I did finish Legends and Lattes. I ended up giving it 4 stars and I did read it within a day. It was just so cute. It felt like drinking a chai latte, like, on a rainy day. That's like how the book felt. It was incredibly cozy. When I was talking about wanting to read this book for the readathon and hoping I could read it in a day, I did have someone comment and say, like, it's not a fast-paced book, but you get through it quickly, and I understand exactly what that person meant now that I read it. Like, the pacing of the book is not particularly fast, but you find yourself just getting through pages. It was actually a shorter book than I thought it was because my edition had a chunk of, like, a novella at the back, which I didn't read because it wasn't included for this readathon and wasn't necessary. And then I did start Hex Appeal straight after. I was supposed to get this completely read yesterday, so today is actually Wednesday. It is my first day of work and I'm trying not to, like, freak out about it, so I'm just vlogging like normal. But I just didn't vlog or really read much yesterday. I'm only 50 pages into this book. I might have to DNF it and swap it out for something else if it doesn't pick up soon. Like it's really not capturing my attention, and I'm feeling like slumpy with it. Like I just don't want to be reading it. There's some other books on my TBR that I do really want to get to, so we'll see how we go. But I do have the weekend as well, so I could still manage to read 4 books this week, even if this takes me the rest of the working days, because I could read a book Saturday and a book Sunday if I tried like hard enough. But yeah, today is not going to be a huge reading day because I'll be working, but then I'll catch up with you after work to give some updates and to get some reading done. I might work on my lunch break, I might read on my lunch break. I don't know, we'll see how everything goes. I'm working from home, so that is, you know, a plus. But yeah, happy Wednesday. Just wanted to pop in and update you. I still have not made it to any of the sprints. I'm hoping I will be able to at some point today, but depends when the sprints are. I don't know. I really want to make it to a sprint. Not just because I need to for the bingo board, but just because I love the magical Hopathon sprints. I think they're so fun, so I really want to make it to one. But yeah, it is 8:30 on a Wednesday morning. Looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun. Good evening, guys. It is 5 o'clock, nearly half 5 now, because after work I had to get a video up and faff about with the YouTube. I haven't read a single page today, but I'm not particularly like annoyed at myself over that. Like I knew Wednesday was probably not going to be a huge reading day, just because I have started work, and that was obviously the priority today, was just sorting that out. And I think, like, you know, with booktube and everything, like for the next couple of weeks until I have a solid routine down and I am comfortable in the job, everything might be a little bit here, there and everywhere. But now that I'm done for the evening, I am going to sit here and read some of Hex Appeal. It's pouring down with rain. It is so vibey, and I'm just going to sit and read. I'm going to aim for 100 pages. If I get into it and I go over, then even better. First things first though, I have to like sort out my room and like the study where I was working. There's just coffee cups, Coke cans, snacks just like everywhere, and I just really need to sort it out because it's stressing me out. But then we're gonna read. I'm 140 pages into this now, and I'm not done reading for the night, but I don't love it. I think I will probably give this 2.5 to 3 stars. It's just a personal thing, really. There's way too much miscommunication in this book. I'm 150 pages in. These characters haven't even gotten together yet, and there's been 2 instances where they've fallen out over miscommunication already, and it's just very silly miscommunication as well. And also I just think there's too much going on in this book. There's no clear like threads. I can't tell where it's going, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it just kind of seems like there is constant new characters cropping up and new villains cropping up and new elements of the plot cropping up, and every time I think one of them is going to be like, okay, we're into the meaty bit of the plot now, it's like, oh, actually that's just resolved already within the next chapter and we're on to a new thing now. And I'm just not really enjoying that aspect of it. I would rather see some kind of sustained plot throughout all of it, and not just all these tiny little mini like problems and miscommunications. So I don't love it, as we can tell by the fact it's been 2 days and I'm only this far in, but I can't give up on it now, so I'm gonna keep trying. Hopefully I can finish it tomorrow and then have Friday, Saturday, Sunday to read another book, because if I finish this and then read one more book on top of that, I will have completed 2 rows of the bingo board, and I won't consider that a complete failure. But as long as I finish this before Sunday, I will have finished a row and completed this readathon, so it won't be the end of the world, and I can definitely finish this by Sunday. Yeah, I just wish that I was liking this a little bit more, but it's fine. We'll keep going. Maybe we'll get there. I'm still not halfway into the book yet, so maybe it'll work. And I have to say, when these 2 characters are getting along and are interacting on page. I really enjoy those elements. It's just that they don't spend a lot of time interacting on page, and most of the times we have seen them interacting on page, there's been some kind of miscommunication that has resulted from their hanging out, so there haven't been too many positive interactions between those two, but where they are good. I'm not done reading for the night. I'll give you a final page count when I do stop for the evening. It is 8:45 now, so I've still got some time. I made it to page 290 and I'm wrapping up for the night. I'm thinking this is a 2-star book, to be honest. It is still very, like, this thing happens and then it gets resolved, and then another plot point happens and then it immediately gets resolved, and then another point happens and it immediately gets resolved. Like, in this book we've had 2 miscommunications, a pregnancy from a side character, birth from that same side character, a mysterious evil coming back to life, travelling back in time, solving the evil that came back to life, everything being fine and dandy, followed by a character issue, followed by that character issue being resolved, and I still have 100 pages left of this book. It feels like there's a new plot point every 50 pages that is like resolved within the next 50 pages before another one is brought up. I'm just getting really irritated by it, and there's like a trigger warning of non-consensual sex in this, which is not mentioned anywhere at the beginning of the book. There is no content warning or trigger warning anywhere in this book, and I think that's a pretty big trigger. Like, it doesn't happen on page, it's not like a graphic scene at least, but it is talked about, and for a trigger like that it should be mentioned. So any positive feelings I was having towards this book have just been completely eradicated. I'm leaning towards giving it a 2 stars. I pretty much only use a 1 star for this book should never ever have been published. What the hell was anyone thinking? One of the only books that comes to mind for a 1-star book is Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. I wouldn't say this is that level, but it's getting there. I just think structurally, what the hell were people thinking with this? This is traditionally published. Like, how many people must have read this book and they thought, yeah, you know what, that's really good, that's a really good structure, I love how many different plot points happen in this book. Like, I would much rather have an overarching theme, an overarching plot, and we like work towards one big like gigantic event. No, we've just had a million little mini ones that are never fully fleshed out or fully developed, and it just kind of feels like a series of short stories following the same characters, just all lumped in together. I'm not enjoying it. But I will be waking up early in the morning to try and finish this, and hopefully we'll get this done before the end of the day tomorrow. In a perfect world I would get this done with enough time to start a 3rd book tomorrow, but we will see. We may not be that lucky. But yeah, I'm not enjoying this one. Slightly disappointed by it, but it is what it is. We live. If you are going to pick up this book, my recommendation would be not to, but if it still sounds like something you would be interested in, just be wary of some content warnings for this book, and also be wary of the fact it kind of feels like a series of short stories. But yeah, I am going to finish reading for the night and then wake up early to try to get the last 100 pages or so of this book read. I'll probably just be skimming it at this point because it really is starting to be that bad. It doesn't need to be nearly 400 pages, that's for sure, because everything is wrapped up. We're all happy and dandy and good at this 300 page mark. What's gonna happen in the next 100 pages? I don't like it. I don't think. There's so many characters, none of them are properly fleshed out at all. None of the plot points that happen are properly fleshed out or turned into overarching plot for this book. I really don't think this is a good book, basically. But we may as well finish it at this point. Hey Marvin, come here. Good morning guys, I'm joined by Marvin, as we can see. I think I'm up early enough today to read some of my book. I'm still figuring out what my morning routine is going to be, when I want to wake up, what I want to do over morning, things like that. It doesn't feel like something that would be a big change, but it kind of is. It's turned out to be. I didn't think I would need to put this much effort into finding a time that works best for me for when I'm waking up and not feeling super groggy or super tired, or I don't feel rushed, and yeah. Anyway, big project for today is to get Hex Appeal done. We have before work, we have my lunch break, we have after work. I'm really hoping I can get this finished. I have a tiny bit left, but then yeah, I can start on the next book, which I think will be The Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I'm gonna check what it is so we can get excited about it. The next book is to read an anticipated release, and so I think that's actually Assistant to the Villain, so that will be fun. That'll be a good one. Good vibes, I think. Nice, easy breezy, fast read to hopefully take us into the weekend with. God, this week has gone quickly. But yeah, I need to get some breakfast, get some reading done, have a slow chill morning, back on the 9 to 5 grind. This is new for me, but I'm enjoying it at the moment. I haven't even started work yet, and I finished this book 8:45 in the morning. This book is finished. I will be giving it 2 stars. I did not like it for all of the reasons that I said yesterday. In the last 100 pages of the book, we managed to have an amnesia trope, another monster, like it way too much going on in this book. I did not know what story it wanted to tell, so I'll be giving it 2 stars. But I am very happy that I finished it, and that means I get to start a new book on my lunch break. I'm wearing exactly the same thing as yesterday, by the way. I don't even care anymore. This is warm and my house is freezing. It is. I did not manage to get particularly far into Assistant to the Villain on my lunch break. I didn't feel like besotted with the writing style straight off the bat, but I am gonna give it like a good go, because I think I've read the prologue, and I think I've just read the prologue, to be honest, so I cannot quit after that little amount of time. I'm running a bath right now. I have both the dogs in with me. I'm not coughing like that. That's both of these dogs begging for their dinner, and my back is killing me, so I'm gonna run a really hot bath, see if that relaxes the muscles a little bit, and then read Denzel! And then read whilst I'm in the bath as well. With the completion of Hexapeel this morning, these dogs being so naughty in the background, with the completion of Hexapeel this morning, I did complete my first row of the bingo board, and thus I have technically like completed the minimum requirements for this readathon. If I get to 100/150 pages into Assistant to the Villain and I don't like it, I can switch to reading The Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and that can be 1950s plus the one next to it. That works as well. Keep you updated, let you know. Oh buddy, what's wrong? What's wrong? Did you miss me? Marvin misses me during the day. No one to play fetch with him. Is there? There's no one to play fetch. Thanks for that, Marvin. I'm gonna go now. I'm 60 pages into this book. I'm still not loving it. It's honestly just on me at this point. Like, I cannot focus on the words. I am so close to falling asleep. Like, I'm just looking at the page and it's just a haze. Or I'll get to the end of the chapter and I'll be like, I didn't actually read any of that chapter. So I think I'm just gonna call it a night. It's only 20 to 8, but I'm just tired. I knew it would be kind of hard for me to read a huge amount this week, so I'm gonna go kind of easy on myself, and I'm just not feeling it, so let's just not. Like, let's just have a chilled evening and relax. I still have tomorrow, which is Friday, and then all day Saturday and Sunday to try and, you know, read this. I would still really like to read The Pumpkin Spice Cafe this week, but if I can't, then I'll just read it next week. But yeah, it's time to not burn myself like to the ground just because of a readathon this week, because it's supposed to be a good time. It always is a good time. I'm just gonna have a relaxing evening. I'm probably gonna watch Disney vlogs, to be honest, so I can like still get the Disney vibes and feel like I'm there. Good morning, guys. I have literally just been here reading Assistant to the Villain for a little bit. It's been a slow morning, but I'm glad that my routine is like already sorting itself out a bit so that I can have the slower mornings. I've got half an hour, just over half an hour, to do a little bit of reading of Assistant to the Villain before we go again with the 9 to 5 grind. I'm sure I will get used to it. God, am I ready for the weekend now, and I haven't even worked a full week. Like, I'm being such a baby about it, but I'm tireder than I thought I would be. Yeah, let's read Assistant to the Villain a little bit. Can we just, for a second, talk about the font size in this book. I would rather just have a bigger book and not have to strain my eyes to read the text. Also, who can write this much for this story? It's nearly 400 pages and the writing's that small. I'd say this is probably closer to a 500-page book, which is just not necessary in a romance. I know this is a romantasy, but it's marketed as being more on the romance side, and straight off the bat I can tell that that is the case. It is more a romance taking place in a fantasy world, and it doesn't need to be essentially 500 pages if you factor in the text size. But I don't know, we'll see if I get into it today. Feeling a little bit better now that I have slept, so I will see you in a bit. I am on my lunch break. I have Assistant to the Villain, and I'm basically just checking in to tell you that I made it to a sprint. We can tick off sprint on the bingo board. I actually made it to one. I don't think it's going to be a particularly productive sprint for me though, because I still have to eat some point within the next 50 minutes, but I think Rachel said she's going to be live all of Sunday. If you're watching this vlog, then we'll already know this will have passed, in which case I can have that be my major sprint day. And I'm happy to have made it to a 1 and maybe even do like 10 minutes of reading, just so I can tick it off, like as a just in case kind of thing. So we'll see how we go. But yeah, just popping in to let you know that I'm going to be doing some reading during these lunchtime sprints. So I finished Assistant to the Villain and I didn't like it. I don't know if it's just that I think was feeling kind of slumpy, like I wasn't invested, I don't know, but this book also didn't make me invested. Like what I love about fantasy romance is it's a really fun way to get that like squealing, like kicking my legs, like so invested, so encompassed in a world type of romance. It's when a fantasy romance is good, it's like a completely different feeling for me than a contemporary romance. I don't get as hyped or excited over contemporary romances as I do fantasy. I just think there's something so exciting about them. I don't know what it is, and this one just didn't do that for me. I didn't really care about the characters. I didn't care about them getting together. There wasn't enough relationship development between the characters for my taste, and so I'm definitely in the minority with this opinion, but I really did not like this book. So yeah, kind of not a great end to the readathon for me. I wish that I had chosen some better books. I mean, I did take a risk with the books that I chose. I wish that I'd chosen some better books, but hey ho, not much you can do. I did really enjoy Legends and Lattes. That was a wonderful book that came out of this, and yeah, it is what it is really. You can't win them all, and I am still definitely hyped and eager for my Disney trip next month. It's literally only like a couple weeks away, and I booked this trip last September, so it honestly felt like this trip was never ever gonna get here, and now we are so close and I'm ecstatic about it. So the timing of this readathon was great. Still had a great time with it. I just wish that I had chosen some better books, but hey ho. And so that is the end of the Magical Hopathon reading vlog. I swear I did get changed throughout the week. This is just like my new purchase and I'm loving it. It was a really fun week. Honestly, it just went too quickly. I was too busy, I had too much going on. The week flew by. I did not get to everything that I wanted to. I definitely didn't feel like it was as productive of a reading week as I would have liked. But we did complete 2 lines of the bingo board. So we did complete it. We did well. We did basically what was my realistic expectation for the week. I had completing 1 line was my like backup option. 2 lines was what I realistically thought I could achieve. And then 3 lines was kind of like the big goal that I knew was slightly ambitious. So we were on track. We did good. I just wish that I'd chosen some slightly better books for this, but you can't always win them. Sometimes that's just the way the cards fall. Sometimes you don't like the books that you pick up. Highlight of this week was definitely Legends and Lattes. I am so happy I started the week off on that note. I'm so happy that I saved it for this readathon and for October. I really enjoyed that book and loved it. So something good did come out of this. If you guys liked this video and you would like to see more from me, then do please feel free to hit that big red subscribe button down below and stay tuned for future content. I'm unsure if I'm going to keep doing Wednesday and Sunday uploads or just do Sunday uploads. Maybe for now, for a little bit, I'll just do Sunday. The change in routine has thrown me all out of whack and I am just unsure of what's really going on right now, but there will hopefully still be some regular content going up in some way. Also, do please feel free to check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Page and Chapter, because I'm most active on there, particularly Instagram. So if you still want to see updates from me or updates about the channel, then that is the place to go and get that. And so without further ado, I hope you guys are having a fantastic week. You're enjoying everything you are reading and there are no reading slumps in your future. And I will see you for my next video. Bye guys.